everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is LJ, and in today's video I'm going to be teaming up with Amy Pigeon, who's also a makeup artist living here in Toronto. I'm going to be doing this cool toned holiday inspired makeup look, and over on Amy's page she's going to be doing a warm toned holiday inspired makeup look. So if you want to see how I created this look, then keep on watching, and don't forget to head on over to Amy's page to see her warm toned holiday makeup look. Also, I just got a new camera yesterday, and of course I had to use it in today's video without even knowing how to use it. So please bear with me as I'm like getting used to the camera and a new setup. I don't have to like scrouch down in the corner anymore. I got a DSLR camera. I'm getting used to it, so you might see a few changes throughout the tutorial, and hopefully by the next video I will have it more figured out and I'll actually know how to use it. So please bear with me as I get used to my new camera. Anyways, let's get into the tutorial and learn how to create this cool toned holiday makeup look. So in this video I'm going to be recreating this look. I always do one eye first just to make sure that the look actually turns out okay. And I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Smokey Obsessions palette, which is so pretty. So I thought that I would actually use a palette to create this look instead of all of my single eyeshadows. Okay, let's get straight into the tutorial. First, I'm going to use this concealer from INGLOT. It's the number 58 cream concealer. I use it to color correct any blueness that I have. So I have a lot of blueness in here. Next, I'm going to use Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Neutral. I'm going to prime my lid now with the rest of the Shape Tape. Let me zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to set my lid now with translucent powder, and the one that I use is the RCMA No Colour Powder. So the first shade I'm going to go into here is this one. There's no names on these shades. I'm using my 6SS brush from INGLOT. I'm going to go into the crease area with that. Then I'm going to go into this more cool tone shade here. So this is going to go deeper into my crease now, and a little bit lower down onto the lid. So that's after creating a really nice fade from lighter to darker into the crease. Next we are going to go into the dark brown shade right here, using the same brush still. So next I'm going to go into this black shade here, and I'm using the 41TG brush by INGLOT. This is just like a nice flat stippling brush. And now I'm going to blend out the harsh line, just using the 6SS brush again from INGLOT. Just make sure that it's all nice and seamless and fading really nicely. So I'm getting a tiny little bit of fallout with these shadows, but not to worry because we don't have our face on yet. I wasn't expecting these shadows to have much fallout, but I really like the blendability of them. They're really nice. So next we are going to use our MAC NW15 Select Cover Up Concealer to cut out a little crease. And I'm just going to pour that onto the back of my hand and use my trusty old lip brush 12S, again from INGLOT. All these INGLOT brushes. INGLOT brushes are really good. I'll link everything in the description box below in case you do want to check out any of them. And I always blend the edge of the concealer into the eyeshadow with my finger. Now that I have the concealer on, we have some shape made. I'm going to use the silver colour here now out of the palette, and I'm going to use my finger. I used it with a brush earlier and it just came up really sparkly. But when you use your finger you can see like it just comes up a lot more pigmented. It's harder to stay within the line when you use your finger because it's obviously not the most precise tool to use. And I'm going to try and fix it. I'm going to go into that cool tone brown that we used earlier. Go back and forth. And it just diffuses that little part that where we went outside the lines, and I'm just going to go back into the concealer again just to redefine the line. Pretty nice. And now I'm going to go back into the black shade. We're going to marry those two shades together. So the glitter that I used on this eye is this one here. It is the INGLOT Body Sparkles number 66. It's super sparkly. I love it. It's so nice. It will really jazz up any makeup look. Just super sparkly. Today I'm going to use duo glue to stick down the glitter. I'm just going to use my finger to apply down the glitter first. So dabbing that lightly wherever we want to stick down the sparkles. And I'm just going to go back into the glue and do a little line where we created our cut crease. And now we are going to use, I'm going to use this silicone brush applicator, dip it into the pigment and pop it on. Now I'm going to go back into the black shade in the palette and just really smudge that together. Next I'm going to use my favourite liquid liner, which is an Essence liquid liner. So you use whatever works best for you. This works really well for me. It doesn't smudge around for me or anything. I'm just going to line the eye very lightly. I'm just grabbing the black eyeshadow again and smudging the outer corner of that liner that we just put down. Okay, I'm back from just wiping away my under eye. I changed my camera setting. I'm still really getting used to my new camera. It's going to take me a while to get used to this camera. I've never had a DSLR before. So now I'm just going into my under eye, prepping that for the eyeshadow that we're going to do underneath. And I just did my color correction first again. Gonna go back into my Shape Tape again and use the same little brush that I was using before and just dab that onto the under eye. We're going to go back into this shade here. We're going to go right into the lower lash line with that one. We're going to go back into this shade here. No, I'm going to go into this one, I think it was I used earlier. Straight into the lash line. Now I'm just going to highlight my inner corner. For this one I'm using a single eyeshadow from INGLOT. The number 35 INGLOT eyeshadow. Next I'm going to use my 77 gel liner. And a straight brush for my waterline. And I'm going to do the same to my tight line, which is like your top waterline. So now you can see it's a really harsh line between my lower lash line and the smoked out lower lash line, and we want to make it more blended, kind of smoked out like this side. So my little trick is to grab again the magical mystical Dureline. What I do is I get another drop into the lid of the 77 gel liner, and I just try to use the Dureline without mixing it too much into the gel, without adding more product. So it's just going to really smudge out. So I'm going to try and get a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going into that area right between the waterline and where the lower lashes come out. It can often be very white there, and we don't want that to happen. And then you have like no white gaps in between your lashes. And it's smoked out just a bit more. So now I'm going to smoke it out again, just to match the other side. So next we're going to move on to lashes, and I'm just going to use, this is one of my favourite mascaras. It's the Total Tease by CoverGirl, and it has a really cool bristle brush. So I'm just going to pop on a little bit of that. But we are not going to be too precise because, as you can see from this eye, we're going to be popping on some lashes. So the lashes that I'm using are the velour lashes. They are called Bare Naked, and you can see they're super gappy, and I really like them. And where are you, little lash helper? Because I need you. That are eyes done using the Huda Beauty Smokey Obsessions palette. absolutely stunning, and I used maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shadows, and I can't wait to use those other ones down there. I swatched them all earlier, and the matte ones don't swatch very well, but they perform really well on the eyes. And those other ones, they're just amazing. I don't know what kind of finish it is. Is it like a creamy pearly finish? But like, look at this. Look. They're so good, and they apply really well with finger. They swatch amazing with finger, as you can see. Okay, so we're gonna move on to face. So for primer, I'm going to use the Smashbox Pore Minimizing one. This one is a little sample. Hopefully it won't ball up, because the first time I used it, it did. But I didn't really use it since. Joining us today, I don't know if you noticed, but we have a little special guest, and they're right here. So I'm just going to go over it with some Shape Tape before we apply foundation. Goodbye. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Revlon Color Stay Foundation, and this is shade 220, Natural Beige. And I've been really loving it mixed with the Strobe Cream by MAC. So just dot them both around the face and mix them all together. So now that I have it all like dotted around the place, I'm just going to go in and rub it all together using my artiste brush. I'm just going to use a damp beauty sponge just to push that all into the skin. Now I'm just using a little bit more Shape Tape. Next, I'm going to warm up my complexion using the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, an old classic, and I think a lot of people have this in their makeup kit, so it's a good one to use. So just go very lightly, just all around. Oops, not too precise. We're bronzing, not contouring. Now to sculpt to contour, I'm going to use number 508 sculpting powder from INGLOT. I'm just going to go right in here into where the hollow of my cheek is. I've been really loving this blush duo from this really cool brand that I just recently discovered. This one has a cream blush side and then the powdered blush side. So I'm just going to use my brush and dab it into the powdered side. These are super pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. For winter, I always love to really double up on the blush. It makes you look nice and cold and like pinched cheeks. For highlighter, I'm going to use the ColourPop Flexitarian Super Shock Cheek. I'm going to use my beauty sponge. I'm just going to pop that on. I'm now going to use my big fluffy brush again. I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Universal Invisible Mattifying Powder. Well, what is it? It's a blotting powder, but I use it as a mattifying powder for my T-zone area here, and it really works really well. It keeps my T-zone nice and matte for the longest time. Now it will eventually go quite shiny after like a good few hours wear, but it helps. Now moving on to lips, I've picked these two really festive colours. This is the Stay Matte Liquid Lipstick in Plum This Way, and I'm just going to use a Revlon Plum lip liner. And now onto the lip. I have a full lip swatch video of all of these shades, so I'll link that above. And that is it. That is the finished look. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment below. If you like the video, if you like the makeup look, then give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, of course, don't forget to subscribe. You know all that stuff already. Make sure to head over to Amy's page to check out her warm holiday look. I'll see you in the next video coming up soon.